March 8, 2014. A Boeing 777-200ER, tail number 9MRO. This was one of the safest aircraft ever built, carrying 239 souls, climbing into the humid night sky over Kuala Lumpur. It's a routine flight to Beijing. The mood in the cockpit is calm at exactly 1:19 a.m. As the aircraft approaches the edge of Malaysian airspace, the pilot signs off with a polite
"Baseball Flight MH370."
And then,
breaking news tonight, a Malaysia Airlines flight with 239 people on board, including 4 Americans, has gone missing. At this hour, a desperate search is underway for MH Flight 370, which departed Kuala Lumpur at 12:41 a.m. local time and was due to land in Beijing at 6:30 a.m. Air traffic control lost contact with the plane about 2 hours after takeoff. Whether the disappearance is due to mechanical problems, pilot error, or even terrorism is yet to be determined.
According to the history books, the aircraft simply ceases to exist in our known coordinate system. We are told a specific story, one we've been asked to accept for over 12 years. We are told the plane performed a series of complex manual maneuvers, turning back across the Malay Peninsula and skirting radar. We are told it flew for hours into the most remote darkness of the southern Indian Ocean, until its fuel ran dry and it slipped beneath the waves. But for many following this case, that narrative feels fundamentally wrong. In an era of total surveillance where we can track a license plate from low Earth orbit and hear a whisper in a crowded room, does it make sense that a 200-ton commercial airliner can play hide and seek with the entire military-industrial complex for 12 years? We are now in 2026. Ocean Infinity has just relaunched their search with the Armada AT-6 Vi-5. They are out there right now, scanning the jagged peaks of the seabed, burning millions of dollars in venture capital and government resources. But there is a growing consensus that they are going to find absolutely nothing, because they are looking for a crash that never happened. They are looking for debris in a graveyard that is empty. The truth isn't at the bottom of the ocean. It was leaked to the internet years ago, buried under ridicule, scrubbed by algorithms, and dismissed as a hoax and conspiracies by the very institutions with the most to lose if you believe it. I'm talking about the videos. You've seen them. Maybe you scrolled past them, thinking it was a clip from a high-budget sci-fi movie. 2 angles, one from a drone's thermal imaging sensor, one from a spy satellite's stereoscopic 3D view. They show MH370 flying steady, and then it is joined. 3 distinct orbs, glowing, rotating, locking into a formation that defies any aerodynamic principle known to civilian aviation. They don't fly, they dance. They rotate around the fuselage, creating a perfect vortex. And then, snap. A flash. An endothermic collapse. The plane doesn't explode. It doesn't break apart. It simply vanishes. Instantaneously erased from our reality. For years, the official line was that these videos were CGI created by a bored artist. But here is where the official story starts to crack. If this is a fake, it is the greatest masterpiece of digital forgery in human history. The details are too perfect. The satellite drift in the footage matches the classified NROL-22 movements from that exact night. Cloud formations in these fake videos align perfectly with real-time meteorological satellite data from the Andaman Sea on March 8, 2014. Think about the implications. To fake this, you wouldn't just need to animate a plane, you would need to reconstruct the exact weather patterns of that specific night, down to the pixel, before that weather data was even publicly available in high resolution. This isn't a crash we are looking at, it is a capture. It is technology we are told doesn't exist deployed against a civilian target. The moment you accept that what you saw in those videos might be real, the entire house of cards collapses. The Inmarsat data, the pings, the search zones, it's all theater. They know exactly where the plane went, or rather, when it went. When the mainstream media tries to debunk this, they don't talk about physics. They find one single frame of the flash, and they claim it matches a stock visual effects asset from the 1990s called Pyromania. They wave this like a victory flag. See, it's fake. Go back to sleep. But ask yourself, if you were an intelligence agency trying to discredit a leaked classified video, what is the first thing you would do? You would insert a flaw. You would digitally graft a known fake element into the real footage so that when the internet sleuths analyzed it, they would find the fake and dismiss the whole thing. It's called a honeypot. It's counterintelligence 101. Look past the flash. Look at the orbs. In the thermal footage, as the orbs spin around the plane, they leave a cold wake. In thermal imaging, white is hot, black is cold. When the plane vanishes, the screen goes black, an endothermic event. It sucks the heat out of the air. A standard explosion is exothermic. It releases heat. It flashes white. A VFX artist making a cool plane crash makes a fireball. They don't typically simulate a rapid cooling event consistent with the compression of space-time. Then there's the stereoscopic data. The satellite video isn't just a flat movie, it contains depth data. The angle of the satellite, known as the azimuth and elevation, corresponds exactly to where the US spy satellite USA-229 would have been positioned over the Indian Ocean at that exact millisecond. How does a hoaxer know the classified orbital paths of US spy satellites? How did they simulate the specific jitter of a military-grade sensor? Before the disappearance, the plane's communication systems didn't just fail, they were severed in a way that suggests electronic warfare jamming. The type of jamming that isolates a target before extraction. The videos show the orbs performing what's called phase conjugation. They are creating a resonance field. By rotating around the center of mass, the plane they are creating a gravity well. This isn't magic, it's field propulsion. It's the ability to decouple an object from the inertial drag of the universe. Who possesses this technology? The scariest answer is that it's us. Enter Dr. Salvatore Pais. This is an aerospace engineer who worked for the Naval Air Warfare Center. Between 2015 and 2019, right after MH370, the US Navy filed a series of bizarre patents under his name. High-frequency gravitational wave generator. Piezoelectricity-induced room temperature superconductor. And the big one, craft using an inertial mass reduction device. The Navy didn't just file these, they fought for them. They stated on the record that these technologies are operable.
Apparently, Ashton, because someone commented that actually underneath my, do you have any questions for Sal? And someone said, can you ask him, apparently Ashton thinks that you are responsible for the technologies behind these orbs in some way or another, whether or not this, escaped from you and has been developed on in the black and
Rather put it this way. Would I be here with you? And I doubt that very much. I would be locked up forever in some dungeon of some
Yeah, I didn't.
A skiff within a skiff within a skiff. I nested skiff.
A Russian you just want Sal in the center of this.
Oh my God, it's funny. That's me. No. It's all right, bro. No.
Inertial mass reduction. That is exactly what we see in the MH370 videos. If you can reduce the mass of an object to zero, it has no inertia. It can make right-angle turns at Mach 10. It can hover. It can vanish. The patents describe a craft that uses an electromagnetic field to create a quantum vacuum around itself. This is the Pais effect, and it matches the visual signature of the orbs perfectly. Why use it on a commercial airliner? Look at the cargo and the passengers. MH370 was carrying 4,566 kilograms of fresh mangosteens and lithium-ion batteries that were never scanned before loading. But more importantly, it was carrying 20 employees from Freescale Semiconductor. These weren't interns. These were specialists in electronic warfare, radar cross-section reduction, and heavy-duty chip manufacturing. If these men were defecting, or if they were carrying something that the deep state decided could not land in Beijing, then MH370 wasn't an accident. It was an extraction. The technology described in the Pais patents explains the how. The Freescale employees explain why. Why the cover-up? Why spend 12 years searching the wrong patch of ocean? Because admitting the truth about MH370 requires admitting the existence of the technology that took it. If the US government possesses inertial mass reduction and zero-point energy, the world changes overnight. You don't need oil. You don't need the petrodollar. You can power a city with a device the size of a toaster. They are not hiding a plane crash. They are hiding the end of scarcity. They are hiding the end of control. The plane didn't crash. It was taken. And as long as we keep talking about it, we keep the truth alive. What do you think? Did it vanish or did it vanish? Trust your eyes, not their narrative. I'm out.